We are live here on Plus One EXP's Roll for Content channel. My name is Tony Vicenda. I'm Chief Alchemist here at Plus One EXP, which is a weird little brand that multi-classes in tabletop game design, beard, and skincare alchemy in the Bardic College of Content Creation. Our hope and desire is to help amazing designers find great players who love their games, and amazing players find great designers whose games they can love. We do that in a lot of different ways, but the most fun way we do that is sitting down with those creators to play those games on this happy and festive Midsummer. That's no different. We've got a special hot Midsummer stream coming at you live today, playing Frontier Scum, and we're playing with Karl Druid, the creator of the game, along with some other great folks. Karl, why don't you tell people who you are, what you do, and tell us a little bit about Frontier Scum?
Yeah, I'm Karl. I am Swedish, which is what I do. I spend most of my time developing web applications. Some of you may have seen Scumburger, Scumatorium, Dungeon Gen, etc. But I also dabble with actual RPG content. I've done some stuff for Mörkborg, and I've somehow spent the last year or so working on Frontier Scum, which is a game about wanted outlaws making their mark on a lost frontier. It started out as a Mörkborg hack, but it's since developed a style and identity of its own. It's being published by Games Omnivorous, and yeah.
Awesome. I'm super excited to play it. Let's meet some of our other players, and then we will dive in. Tom, why don't you go first? Tell people a little about who you are, what you do, where they can find you online.
Okay. My name's Tom. I am a bit new to the sort of tabletop RPG side of things. I come more from a miniatures background. I'm a resin caster and a sculptor. But yeah, I heard about Frontier Scum when Karl started chatting about it on Discord, and I've kind of been hooked ever since, unfortunately. And here I am. So yeah, you can find me on, I'm mostly on Instagram because it's a more visual medium for my miniatures and things, at Petlowski. I'm on Discord, same handle, and on Twitter very newly as well. So yeah.
Awesome. Super glad to have you here with us for the first time. Joining us again, not for the first time, struggling with the plague, which we won't reference repeatedly throughout the course of this. We've got Walt. Walt, why don't you tell people who you are, what you do, where they can find you online?
Hey, everyone. I'm Walton Wood, probably most known for my blog, Liber Ludorum. I was Karl's editor for the text of Frontier Scum, and I've been helping playtest it from the beginning. And I'm really excited to be here playing it again today and being back on +1 EXP network. Always a good time when I'm hanging out with Tony.
Yeah, always good to have you here. And Walt, people who don't know, has been wrestling down we go into shape over the course of the last little bit. So for fans of our stream and our house system, you guys should be getting the penultimate laid out version early next week. We're very excited about that. We're just doing some visuals on the layout, and then you all will get to give us feedback, and Walt and us will make the changes, and it'll be ready to go to print. We're very excited about that. But you didn't come here to hear about that game. You came here to watch us cattle dash in Frontier Scum. We always use a couple different tools here on the channel to keep everybody safe. Those are usually just lines, veils, and the X card. We also will give a couple content warnings. And I think Karl did a great job, like in the book itself, the preview version that I've got, talking a little bit about how he approached the Western genre. Karl, do you want to read that section for people who may be wondering how this game approaches some of the more problematic elements of the West?
Yeah, sure. So Frontier Scum is a fantasy tabletop role-playing game, and just as games may draw inspiration from sword and bow times, this game also draws inspiration from gun and hat times. It is not a vehicle with which to propagate the racist, sexist, homophobic, and otherwise bigoted stereotypes and tropes of the Old West or any other era.
Awesome. So with that said, let's talk about lines and veils. We have a strong line against sexual assault on the channel. I know, Karl, you also mentioned in advance, cattle will die during this episode, so there will be harm to animals, but we won't be intentionally gruesome about it. But that is a part of the scenario. Also, Walt is playing a 12-year-old, and so don't think about it as a 12-year-old being imperiled. Think about it as Walt's character being imperiled.
Just think of it as me being in peril.
Yes. But any other lines or veils that we want to establish? Cool. The other thing we always also have is an open door policy. So you may see us talk to people off screen, need to get up, move, take care of a cat, grab a fresh beverage. All those things are normal human things that normal people do, and we are somewhat normal people who will need to do those things. So if you see any of that, please be aware that that's just a normal thing. If you need something, take care of yourself while you're watching the stream. Also, too, we're glad to have you here with us. We've already got a question in the chat. Trashorama wants to know, is this more True Grit era Western or 50s era Hollywood Western? From my read, I would say neither, and I like the way it's referred to in the game. This is an acid West concept, right? Is that correct, Karl?
Yeah, I would advertise it as an acid Western inspired theme. Yeah.
So not True Grit and not 1950s Hollywood era either. And so awesome. We're going to be using Owlbear Rodeo to help track our way through some of the different things today. We'll have some other images will pop up on screen. You'll get to see some of the stuff that's coming out of the book. But with that said, Karl, I'm going to hand things over to you to take us into Frontier Scum.
Yes. So I'm going to start with reading the blurb of the adventure, I figured, and then I want you to introduce your characters, and then I'm gonna place us on the map, and then we'll get going. So the adventure we're running is called Cattle Dash. It's a spin-off, if you will, of the world famous Clam Dash by Karl Druid. It's called Cattle Dash. It's about cows. You did it. You rustled Rancher Claman's prize cattle, all 40 heads. The only hiccup? The law's hot on your hooves. Up ahead, a ridge rising from the dust, and there, the gate to your salvation, Bonesome Gulch. Go through the canyon, and you're in the big nothing, in the jurisdiction of the Outlaw Union. Make it to the other side, and the fence in Sickwater will pay 25 silver for each cow still breathing. It's no use going back the way you came. More loss on its way. So, you've rustled some cattle. I believe, Tony, you've got the cow shit all ready to go.
Yeah, I got it up. People can see it next to us. So we've got this cow sheet. We'll be able to track all the cows that make it. There are a lot more cows even down below what I can show on screen. Really easily. Also, somebody told me the link that I had set up isn't working, and they're 100% correct. I'm going to take care of that in just 1 second for anybody who is curious. But that link down below our faces, if you're watching this later, will take you straight to more information about the game. But apparently there was a typo in it, so I'm going to fix that, and we'll be ready to go in a second. Gorgor Big. Karl, you can keep on going.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna ask you to introduce your characters. We'll start from the top with Walt there.
Oh boy. Well, I'm reprising my role, one of my playtest characters, JB Mosca, but he goes by Kid Pomade. Kid Pomade talks like this, and he's only 12, but he tells everybody that he's 40. He rides a horse named Lightning Ball. He's a gambler and a compulsive liar. But you probably already knew that.
Does he tell people he's a compulsive liar?
Oh, hell no.
I'm just curious.
I figure it's pretty obvious when a 12-year-old kid tells you that he's 40.
All right. And you introduced your horse as well, which is great. Please do so, Tony.
Yeah, I am playing as Torchibald Smokestack Beard, and I just used the name chart, and I did roll Beard, and I did pick Smokestack as my name. I've got he's got delicate sensibilities, but piercing eyes, and a lot of beard, oftentimes surrounded by a cloud of smoke, so you don't know where the beard stops and the smoke begins. You can oftentimes see me around a card table or getting thrown out of things. I've been thrown out of a riverboat. I've been thrown over a balcony. I've been thrown into the streets and gotten lost there. And you can see me riding my faithful riding horse, Whiskey Beans, who just loves the smell of gunpowder because of the amount of smoke constantly around them. It's actually the only thing they can smell anymore. It's kind of sad.
All right. Tom?
Okay, so I'm playing the notorious KB Mudpipes Gummy. Now, Mudpipes is basically one of the most cowardly individuals you're ever going to encounter in, in Frontier Scum. He's got 1 hit point. That goes a long way to explain the kind of fella he is. He's good at hiding behind others, playing dead, evoking pity. He is, the qualities that we rolled up for him: a slack-jawed charlatan and a fraud prone to boredom and thinking overmuch. So he's a bit of a chatterbox, and he does have a propensity to soil himself when things get a little worrying for him. There have been occasions where he's been rather fervent in procuring fresh breeches, shall we say. But yeah, he's pretty much just a rat coward, I think sums up Mudpipes. And for the purposes of a bit of backstory, he's also apparently Kid Pomade's uncle. That's a thing. And he talks like this with a rather high-pitched voice and just prone to just rambling on and on, using really far too much in terms of complicated words, and he just doesn't shut up. So I can only, from the very bottom of my heart, apologize for the dreadful assault on all of your senses that you're going to have listening to this live stream. Also,
I just now realized that Kid Pomade does not talk in a high-pitched voice because they are a child. It's a family trait. It's genetic,
Yes.
apparently. Yeah, so that's interesting to know.
There we
He
go.
may be 40. He may be 40.
Oh, and most importantly, I've got the worst horse possible in the game. My horse is called Stormy Joy. She is a nag, which means she's bad at everything, very slow. In order to try and escape the law, she, I'm not sure what color she was, but she'd been painted black with tar just to try and disguise her. So, we're riding a sticky black horse.
Gross.
Why not?
Yeah, I forgot to say what we're wanted for.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite things about rolling up a character. You get to write, you get to work out what you're actually wanted for. I'll go while we're still on me, and then I'll shut up and someone else can have a go. So Mudpipes is wanted dead or alive for wanton rustling. Seems kind of appropriate given the circumstance.
Makes sense.
And there is a reward of 130 silver for him. Okay, that's me done.
I don't know how, I didn't know there was a roll for how much it's worth. So I missed that part. So
it's the total of the roll.
It's the total of the roll. I should have paid attention.
Times 10.
Times 10. I don't remember what it was, but I am wanted alive for gruesome picketing. The most, I mean, I think is the best type of picketing. And I also think they want me alive because everybody's interested in exactly, like, it's a very effective technique, and they want to basically turn my power, my ability to gruesomely picket to their own evil ends. And so, I'm wanted for a lot of money, just a lot. That's all Smokestack ever tells anybody, a lot.
Yeah. And Walt?
I'm wanted dead for repeated fraud. Kid Pomade tried multiple times to take out insurance policies as a 40-year-old man. And apparently the insurance companies are just done with it.
All right. So you've got your characters, you've got your horses, your mighty steeds, and you've got your crimes that you're wanted for. But well, it's none of these crimes. Perhaps mud pipes, wanton rustling. That's the subject of today's adventure, because you've just rustled 40 head of cattle from somewhere around here, and I'm going to mark it on the map for you with a little laser pointer. It's it's somewhere north of the oil capital of Fort Gullet. You're right on the edges of the Big Nothing, which is basically endless sand. And once you head the Big Nothing, you head into the Big Nothing. The law folks gonna get scared and run off because they don't want to go into the outlaw union's jurisdiction. It rarely ends good for law folk out in the Big Nothing. Your target is Sickwater, where you have a fence who's willing to pay you for those stolen cattle. But first, you gotta make it through Bonesome Gulch, which is somewhere around here. So you've been riding for a couple of hours. Your steeds are getting tired, especially Mudpipe's nag, starting to complain. You arrive at the outskirts of the canyon, where you can just see the entrance. And I'm going to tell you right now what this means, the adventure, so to say. You're being chased by the law, and they're actually going to move behind you on the map. They might overtake you depending on which route you take. They're going to move each time you fail an ability check, you backtrack, or you loiter. So, yeah, you gotta make it through before they do, or you're gonna have a fight on your hands.
Sounds like
And they won't stop coming. They might well be. Lucky for you, there's an endless supply of law dogs. So, yeah, they're just gonna keep coming. So the first thing you see as you enter the canyon is a crossroads. You're herding your 40 heads of cattle, and in front of you can see the canyon open up and split into two. There's a way to the right and a way to the left, and the first decision of the evening is, which way do you go?
Well,
go ahead.
Well, I'm just gonna stay here with our prize, and one of y'all can take a mosey on. Yeah, I'm gonna just sit behind this rock for a second.
I don't think that's a good idea, Uncle Mudpipes. The lawman's gonna catch up with you.
Well, I'll stay on my horse then, but off you go. Quick. Go on down the left fork and shout back.
Wondering how I fell in with these two. Take a big puff on my cigar and I'll like kind of lead Whiskey Beans over to the left fork, leaving a trail of smoke behind me.
Yeah, as you look behind you, you can see bigger clouds of dust as well behind you, where the law's chasing after you. So you take the left part going down into the canyon.
Apparently.
Yeah, apparently so. You can sort of see an opening, if you will, as the canyon grows a bit wider, and in this canyon you can see the wreck of a wagon train. There's broken wood and sun-bleached bones. There's a sailcloth cover waving over one of the wrecked wagons in the arid wind. And you can also see on the bottom bit there of the map, there's there seems to be an entrance into a cavern behind a dried up waterfall.
Well, I am absolutely unconvinced this is the right way, but you decided, so on your head be it, my friends.
I mean, people have come here before.
Well, they've come this far. I'm going to sort of trot up to next to the wagon and just eyeball, see if there's anything in there that looks worth a rummage.
Yeah, I'll also mention that there is a second path to the right, going somewhere else, though you cannot tell where. So as you just ride up next to the wagon and peek inside, you can see there seems to be a skeleton inside, and that's about it, unless you investigate closer.
Well, I do not trust these things. I'm going to take the clothes iron off my belt and just smash the skull of it, just to make sure.
So you hop off your horse, you bring up the clothes iron and you whack it, and it shatters.
Okay. Is there anything in there
pieces
that
of bone? Yeah, you can see that the skeleton is clutching a double-barreled shotgun.
Okay,
Sort of slumped against the wagon wall. There seems to be a slot's worth of shells, shotgun shells, on the floor as well.
I'm going to grab that and give it to. I'm going to give it to Smokestack and say, "Well, if we get in a tight spot, then it's on you, my friend. Make the best of use of this."
I should also mention, for the sake of mud pipes, that the skeleton appears to be wearing a full set of clothes. There's both pants and a shirt with a little breast pocket.
Uncle Mud Pipes, he's got breeches.
He's got some mighty fine breeches, my dearest boy. I'm gonna just take him, shake the bones out, shove him in my saddlebag, and then get back on my sticky horse.
Oh yeah! As you shake the clothes, there seems to be a piece of scrawled parchment that falls from the pockets of the shirt.
I'm gonna like pick it up, but try and not show the others it in case it's important.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna sort of surreptitiously take it and then read it when I get a chance. When they're
you're
not
alone in the wagon, so sure, you pick it up.
I'll have a quick read then. If it's like really long, I won't bother.
No, there are no words whatsoever on this piece of parchment. It's a scrawled image of what appears to be a dog's head, but the left eye on this dog has an X for an eye, which is an X where the left eye should be.
I'm just gonna fold it up and put it in my pocket, then not tell anyone. Well, nothing else of note here. Let's be on our way. The law's on our tail. We've got these cattle worth good silver. Let's go.
We'll yip the cattle forward.
And when you say forward, do you mean?
Yeah. Do we want to keep on going on this main path, or do we want to cut over?
I think cutting over is for losers. Let's just go for the big hole.
Yeah, I agree. I want to know what these mildly dotted things are right below us. It could just be a way to differentiate where you show through, but it also could be something horrible.
All right. So you head between the rocks, sort of squeezing in there with the cows. There seems to be a dried out stream and a waterfall, but now it's just a cave opening. And you enter into what appears to be an absolutely huge cave.
Well, my dear friends, I know for a fact if water can get through a gap, a cattle can get through a gap. That is an irrefutable scientific fact.
It's true because milk comes from cows.
It's all good. Let's go.
So as you look upon these cave walls and uneven terrain, you can sort of see shadows moving where the daylight doesn't reach. And the shadows seem to be moving, sort of walking in a circle around you, snarling and howling. They appear to be large cave hyenas. And I want you to roll initiative.
Oh god.
So one of you may roll a d6, 4, 5, 6, and you go first.
Someone else want to do it?
I can do it.
Go for it, Tony.
I rolled a 1.
Okay, so the hyenas go first. Suddenly out of the dark, you can see about 24 of these huge hyenas, almost as big as the cows, running towards you and the cows. In a fit of action, you lose d6 cows as they scamper and scream, and some perish. Please roll a d6 and cross out that many cows.
Do you want me to just keep on track of cows whenever that comes up?
Yeah.
Cow boss.
And
we lose 3 cows.
Oh no. You also notice that not all of these huge hyenas seem to be going for the cows, which are the easy targets. Some seem to go towards you. There are 5 in total, of which one seems to be some sort of lead matriarch of the hyena flock. And it's even bigger than the others. It's bear-sized even. And it lets out a frightening roar as it charges towards you. Would you roll morale for your horses? All of you?
Walk us through that a little bit. So I know
Yes.
I know what I've got for morale, but how do I roll morale for my horse?
Yeah. So what you do is you roll 2d6. If the result is higher and greater than the horse's morale, bad stuff happens.
That's excellent for me. So,
no.
If we roll a 2, is our horse just like especially brave?
Yeah, it stands up to this fierce howling roar that echoes through the cave. Did any of you roll greater than your horse's morale?
Mm-mm.
My terrible horse has let me down again.
So, as this huge monstrosity charges you, your horse sort of nopes out and throws you. And you're gonna have to make a slick save to, or a slick check, if you will, to land safely on the ground.
This is how I die, isn't it?
It might be. So what you do is you roll a d20 and you add your slick ability score.
21.
That's very good. So despite the horse throwing you off, you manage to land, sort of bounce off the backs of one of your cows, and then land standing up in the chaos as the hyenas are going haywire around the cows. There are, as I mentioned, a couple of other hyenas also going for you, the human targets. So I want all of you to make a grit check as the other hyenas charge at you. What you do then is you roll a d20 and you add your grit modifier. Remember that you all started with 1 ace each, which you can use to re-roll any dice. You get another ace if you roll a natural 20.
I'm going to use my ace.
You're going to use your ace? Yeah.
I rolled a 13.
That's perfect. That's enough.
Oh, it's worse.
And remember also that if you roll a natural 1, everybody loses all their aces. So don't sit on them for too long.
I rolled a 6.
Yeah,
I got 3.
a 3 and a 6. All right. So, since you're still on your horse there, Walt, the horse is gonna get the brunt of the attack.
Oh no,
Uh,
not lightning bolt.
and your horse takes d6 damage
All right.
as this hyena sort of slobbers and snickers as it
3 damage.
charges. Yeah, your horse takes 3 damage. Thomas, you're on the ground.
I
You
am.
also take d6 damage as the hyena charges into you. It
Okay.
doesn't bite you just yet. It just sort of shoulder smacks you to the ground.
Well, as long as I roll less than a 1, I'm all right.
Yeah.
Take 3 points of damage.
Okay. You're at -2, I'm afraid.
I am.
So we're already gonna test out the wonders of the death check.
Yep.
What that means is you're gonna roll a d20,
I am.
add your grit, and then you're gonna subtract your negative HP, which is 2. So
Okay.
I'm gonna see just what happens. Would be funny if you just died the first roll of the day.
18. And then -2.
-2. It is a 16.
Hang
So
in there.
yeah, you get shoulder bashed by this massive dog, thrown to the cave floor, but you're still hanging in there, remain at your current hit points. So you're at -2, but you're still able to move. You can only move at a crawl or a stumble, but you're conscious and you're still able to move.
That's such a great opening salvo. We found some pants and a cool note. Got a shotgun, and then one of us
You're about to die. Yeah. So yeah, that was the hyena's turn. An efficient turn, but then it's your turn. You may act in whichever order you choose. There's the big, bear-sized leader of the pack. She's so far only roared, though it was a very frightening roar. There are also 3 hyenas engaging with you. Tony, you managed to kind of steer your horse away from the one that charged you.
Yeah.
What do you do?
I'm gonna unload this double barrel shotgun
Mhm.
into this giant bear size.
Big one. Yeah.
Yes. That seems
That
to be the
seems-
play, I think.
Yeah. So while attacks you normally have to roll to hit with, guns are special in that unless it's a very tricky shot, you just hit. So you deal 2d6 damage to this big bear-sized hyena.
So that's 9 damage.
Yeah, that's a big, massive blast echoing through the. Did you roll a 1? I guess you did not. You roll a 6
I did not,
and a
yeah.
3. Yeah, or something like that. If you roll a 1, you lose a slot of ammunition. So you make a huge impact in this this big bear-sized hyena. Sort of steps backwards from the blast. You can see like a big part of its face has been sort of shrapnelled. There's blood. It's very angry, but it's not quite dead. What would the rest of you like to do?
Well, I think with my probably my last action in Frontier Scum, I'm going to sort of put a bead at this big hyena, try and kill the leader to get everyone else to run away.
So you kind of got knocked to the ground. You've got this big hulking hyena in front of you. If you want to hit the matriarch, the leader of the pack, I would say that's a tough shot.
Yeah, that seems reasonable, but if we
from
can...
the ground there, so you can roll a grit check, I guess, since you're kind of wrestling this hyena in front of you.
Okay, let me roll a grit check. 7.
I will
Yeah.
clarify to everybody, we are rolling d20s at this point in time.
Yes. Yes.
Thanks.
I mean, 7 on a d8's a great roll, you know?
Tom, stop rolling D8s.
A shot goes off as you're kind of trying to avoid the hyena in front of you. You miss your intended target. You hit a cow, so you can cross off one of those.
Oh,
Ah, come
Bang.
on.
Um,
That was my
Kid
favorite
Pomade.
cow.
Yeah, you're gonna have to name them all as well, so you get really sad when they die.
Need a cow name generator. Maybe in Scum Saloon.
Yeah, what do you want to do, Walt?
I
You're
yelled,
on your horse.
Perhaps because hyenas is more like cats than they is like wolves. So I know that because I went to college because I'm 40.
and then I'm gonna shoot at the one that's attacking mud pipes.
Oh yeah. All right. I would say since you your horse took the brunt of the damage and you're still horse bound, it's not a tricky shot as you're kind of standing still. So you can just roll a d6 with your gun.
6.
And chat, I did find a cow name generator, but chat, go ahead and give us a bunch of cow names and we'll just pick from the list.
Yes, good idea, Tony. I was hoping for a 6 because my revolver explodes on 6, but I only got 3.
Oh yeah. Well, you get a good shot into the side of this hyena, and it doesn't go down, but it definitely felt that hit. You
Take
can
that,
see it.
hyena. I'm a man.
In fact, if you had, Tom had waited to shoot, it probably wouldn't have been a tough shot, considering the hyena is now distracted. But that's your guys' turn. So, roll initiative again, one of you.
roll high. Roll high.
Roll high,
Roll very high.
Am I rolling again?
please do.
I definitely roll.
It just said 7. That can't have been right.
No, I'm cool. 7 on a D6. That's great.
we got a 5. That's fine.
A 5, yeah, that's still good. You go first. What do you want to do? Any order you choose.
Since I did not miss, I still have the slot of ammunition. Like I can fire until I miss,
Yeah,
basically,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Correct.
yeah.
Okay.
There's
Cool.
no reloading, so
Cool.
just keep shooting.
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot. Shoot that big one again.
Yeah, both barrels, I assume. You can
of
choose.
course. Of course.
2d6 damage, bang.
So that's a 6.
Oh yeah.
I did not roll a 1.
You kind of take a step back with your horse there, and you lean up the shot, and poof, you explode the head of this hyena. The other hyenas that are moving around, they kind of notice by the death yelp of the big one that the things aren't going well, and they actually begin to like scream themselves and run around. They're panicking, not sure quite what to do. In this turn, however, you've lost another d6 cows.
No.
All right.
Not Buttercup.
Yeah, about to say we lose. We're gonna need a lot more cow names, by the way. We lost. We lost Milkshake to that wild shot. This time we're gonna lose Bessie, Buttercup, Annabeth, Clarabelle, and unfortunately we're losing Brisket also too.
Oh no.
Annabeth and Brisket.
Yeah.
So yeah, the combat is actually over. You can keep shooting hyenas if you want, but they're kind of clearing out, running out the way you came. You kind of left with the chaos of a couple of panicked cows and some dead ones.
I'm going to kind of struggle up to my feet and just go, well, I am so very pleased that I have a clean pair of breeches when we get a moment, because I am most certainly going to need them.
Yeah, so you've actually got a moment right now. If you want to take a break after a combat, you recover D4 hit points, +1 for a drink a smoke, or a nap.
I mean, I'm fine. I say we just keep on pressing on.
Yeah, if you
I'm
don't want
just
to have a
just
nap,
kidding.
it takes no time at all, so you can just sort of get D4 hit points back.
Okay, I'm going to have a swig of water from my canteen and
yeah.
try and push the organs back in that got dislodged.
Yeah.
Do the horses also get a D4 hit points back if we take a quick rest?
No.
No. Okay.
They're gonna need the stabling or have a bit
2.
of a.
I am back to 0.
Oh, nice.
Way to be. At least you're not
Yeah.
negative. You can move again.
Oh, did you say it's +1 if you have like a drink as well?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
I'm back
Back
to full health.
Yeah.
1 hit point. Let's do this.
So you're kind of left, I would say, alone, but you still have 30 odd cows with you. In this massive cave complex, there's lots of unsteady ground. This seems to be the den of the cave hyenas. There's a bunch of detritus.
Yeah, while they're while people are checking their horses and getting set, I'll go examine the unstable ground all around us.
Yeah. So you have a poke around, looking around. You find something in the detritus of these hyenas. It seems to be mainly bits of fur and old gnawed bone, but you do find something which catches your eye. So if you would roll a D66 for me.
Ooh.
53.
53. You find this sort of carved bone pen. It looks like it's still bone, just like most else here, but this one seems to be made into a fountain pen.
Sweet.
So you got a carved bone fountain pen, and you get this sort of ominous feeling. You're not quite sure why, but yeah, keep it handy.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick it in my hat so people think that I'm smart and educated. Classic fountain pen in the hat.
Oh yeah.
You know, motif.
Yeah.
And then I'll go over and pet the cow formerly known as Petunia to settle them down.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a lot of well, you didn't know the cows for very long, but you had a good few hours of riding across the dust barrens to get to know them.
I'll never forget you, Annabeth. I'll never forget you, Brisket. I'll never forget you.
I just go down the list of the cows we lost.
Now, did you have to name every single one of those cows? That was not a good use of our time. We are up against it. We need to get these through here. We need to get away from the law.
Cows is people too, Uncle Mudpipes. They deserve names. And they also deserve proper funerals.
We have not got time to give them a proper funeral. We need to go.
Well, they're already underground, so I guess this is good enough.
I've never seen a 40-year-old man name as many cows as that until today.
So yeah, you're left with 2 possible exits out of this cave. There's the way you came, which is considered backtracking, and then there seems to be a tiny sliver where you could probably squeeze through in a line.
We've already established that
out
cows
front.
are made out of water or milk and can flow through anything.
Absolutely.
And that
It's a cow-
backtracking is a sucker's game.
It's a cargo line.
Moo. Yeah, I'll go out first.
Okay.
And let other people kind of herd the cows through.
Yeah.
I'm going to go in. I'm going to go in the middle, and then Kid Pomay can bring up the rear.
Okay. Get along, little doggies.
I play my harmonic cows to move them along. A little bit of mood music.
Yeah. So you're kind of moving out through the rocks into what appears to be the middle of an abandoned town. And as you head out, you can hear in the distance, like somewhere in that direction, gunshots going off. But yeah, you're in the sort of main thoroughfare of a burned out town. There's some wayward ashes that run in the sun and the smell of burning. You can see 2 rows of burned wooden houses and what appears to be a fire-lit building with a sign that reads Bank of Griff's Creek, which is at the end there, the big old building.
Smokestack inhales as if the smell of ambrosia was surrounding his head. There's nothing like the smell of a burnt out town at whatever time of day this is.
I would say it's about noon.
There's nothing like the smell of a burnt out town at high noon in the Old West.
Yeah.
I
The
think
Lost
they had a
Frontier.
fire here. It's over now, though.
Yeah, it seems that this place was burned some time ago, but yeah, the ashes linger.
Go.
Go ahead.
Just go.
I mean, speaking of lingering, we shouldn't, but also, it doesn't hurt to poke around in that bank at the end.
I can't help but agree with that. I mean, we're going that way anyway.
If we keep losing these cattle the way that we seem to be predominantly losing them, some kind of backup recompense may absolutely be a wise decision. Let's go.
We could put the cows in the bank vault to keep them safe.
No.
Oh.
Just quick, go.
So we'll quickly trot through town to the bank.
Yeah.
To
So you're
look at
kind of
the
heading down the main street, if you will.
Yeah.
You kind of notice as you're moving that what you thought was just the main street, there seems to be like the remnants of a dried out stream going through the middle of town. You can still pick up the shimmer of silver dust in the sediment. It would probably take way too long to pick up enough to make it worth your while, but there seems to be some silver in the dried up creek. So as you head towards the bank, you sort of notice that the bank doors have this massive wooden bar slung across the doors, so it's kind of barred from the outside, which is kind of strange. But the doors seem to be barred from the outside, and the windows are all barred with metal jail style bars.
I feel like it's going to end incredibly well. Most definitely.
Yeah. I love the amount of telegraphing Carl's doing here, and yeah, we're gonna ignore it.
Absolutely.
Does the bank appear burnt at all?
It's fire licked,
But not like the rest of the town.
No, it seems to have survived. It's standing a bit further away from the houses, and it seems to be relatively intact. Yes, there's some burn marks along the walls, but that's about it.
Okay, well, my instinct here is that there's probably a dragon that's been shut in there. I don't know if that's a thing, but there could be one.
Dragons is weird to hang out with hyenas. I read it in a book because I can read.
Yeah. I mean, if we look through a window that's nearest to that door and make a bit of noise and see if anything comes to the window, at least we haven't opened the door. If it's something bad, back on the horses, now we go.
Yeah, I like that. I'm actually just gonna pick up a rock and like chunk it through one of those windows.
Yeah, there's a smashing sound as the glass breaks, but other than that, there seems to be silence.
I'm going to shout in through the window. Well, we're coming in. We're coming in. Who's in there?
Yeah, so as you get sort of close to the opened window, you get this whiff of stale air, sort of dried decay, and just it smells of old attic and dead people.
That smells like my grandma.
Grandma?
Is that you, great grandma?
Hello.
It's me, Kid Mudpipes. Kid Pomade.
I'll tie off my horse since I'm assuming I'm not going to ride it straight into the bank.
You know I'm right.
And like slowly shotgun out, move into the bank.
Okay, so there's a bar in front of the doors. Like
Sorry, I
wooden
take the bar
bar.
off first. I apologize.
Yeah.
Actually, I take the bar off and then we listen again.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm
It's
gonna make it-
quite a heavy bar. So if you want to be go two at a time trying to open it, you won't have to roll. But I'm gonna make you roll if you do it alone.
Okay.
I'll give you a shoulder.
Yeah, I think I'm going to make sure that I'm definitely stood behind Smokestack.
Well, what I would love for you to do, if you don't want to be right on this side of the door, is go back over to that window we busted out and just point your gun inside.
Well, I'm absolutely up for that.
But from a distance.
All right. So you stand poking your gun into the window while you two lift the bar. You
Yeah.
open the doors, and you can all smell this old, dry, death smell, almost sweet. Inside, you see desiccated corpses of what appear to be common townsfolk. Some of them are armed with pitchforks and pickaxes and shovels. There seems to be like 16 or so corpses. At the end of the room, at the other side of the bank, you can see a vault door that seems to be standing ajar.
All right, Pomade, you go check the vault. I'll cover you.
This all seems normal for a bank.
Pull out my revolver. I'll go. How well lit is this room? Like, is there enough?
Well,
like,
there's
to-
light coming in from the windows.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can see.
I'll go take a look.
So yeah, you head over to the vault door, get a peek inside. It seems pretty much picked clean. You can see the shimmer of a couple of silver coins on the ground, 4 in total, as well as a note that's placed on a table inside.
Is it an IOU? Now I'll grab the 4 silver pieces and take a look at the note.
Yeah. So can you read?
That's a damn good question. I don't know. You tell me, Carl.
You said you could, and I think that immediately means, since you are a notorious liar, that you cannot.
I kind of assumed the same thing.
All right. So
I'll
do you want to get an adult to read it for you?
I need an adult. Yeah, so I'll go back out to Smokestack and say,
I found 3 silver, and I'll give you and Uncle Mudpipes 1. And I also found this note, and I know what it says, but I'm going to let you read it anyway.
I'm going to just take the note off of him and read it.
Yeah. It's 3 words. Needs, must, shears. Is that what it says?
Needs, must,
Shears.
cheers.
She has like a name?
No, like shears the bar.
Oh, like
Yeah.
cheers.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's it. That was a massive waste of our time. Let's get going.
All right. So you spent some time checking out the bank.
I would like to rebar the doors.
Yeah.
Actually, I would like to, before we go, I would like to pick up like a pitchfork. That sounds useful. Or a spade, or just anything that's not a clothes iron.
Yeah, sure. You can have your pick. Do you want a pickaxe, a pitchfork, or a spade?
I think a spade's got more utility. I'll go with a spade.
Yeah. You can put that on your horse or on your back if you want.
I will do. Thank you.
Yeah. There's also, like, you could roll to loot the houses or the people, but I mean, it takes time, so it's up to you. That's something you want to do.
Well, I think we've dallied here long enough.
Yeah, I think the bank was a good risk just for being a bank. I'm not super interested in trying to loot houses, especially since they're
I
on
mean,
fire.
they're burned. Yeah.
Yeah. You can hear the well, as you're leaving, you're going. I'm guessing the only way forward there is. You can hear shouting and horses somewhere over there, from over there. The last getting on you. You head forward down here, and you come across two paths. One's open and clear, and the other's a bit more narrow.
I would suggest, my dearest compatriots and friends, that perhaps with the law so close on our tail, a narrow path would be wise, especially if we wedge an ox in it and shoot it.
It's gonna take long to get all them cows through, though, Uncle Mud Pipes.
Just one. We've got enough.
I mean, I'll throw this out there. That's just as a thought. The cows are worth 25 silver each. How much is your nag worth?
I mean, I can't exactly ride a cow.
But you could try.
I mean, you I mean, I've watched you on that nag.
Can't really ride that either. Yeah, fair point. I mean, that is a fair point, but I'm worth more than 25 silver.
Are you? Are
So
you
I'm-
really?
Yeah, I'm going to trade my. Let's make an impediment. If we find a good squeeze, because they're going to be tracking our our footprints and our tracks. If we find a good squeeze, we should have done it in the previous one. Find a good squeeze, we'll just get a cow through and shoot it.
Okay, so what do you want to do?
Go through the narrow path.
Go through the narrow path.
Okay. So you begin leading the cows through the narrow path. It takes some time longer than if you had opted for the wide path, but you managed to get through about 2 cow widths at a time.
Who's taking point and who's staying to guard the rear cows?
I mean, I think if we keep the marching order, that probably makes sense. I'll take point again.
All right.
I guess I'm also going to be on the lookout for loose rocks nearby, since we're looking for up above and stuff like that. Since we're looking for a way to make a barrier.
If only we had some dynamite.
I mean, there's plenty of loose rocks, but you don't see any big ones.
Okay. I mean, a lot of small ones will also do the trick.
Yeah.
But I'm not at the back, so I don't have to shoot a cow if this comes up. Yeah, I'll take point through.
Okay. Who's the last one behind the cows?
I am.
As you're headed into the narrow pathway, you can sort of see just at the corner of your eye horses moving in your direction. They're very close now.
Coming from
the town.
The village,
yeah. But you manage to squeeze through, and you come into this little canyon bit where you see lots of vases and pots, ceramics, and a little hut with smoke coming out. You see a well in front of the little house, and the ground is just littered with pots and pans. And it's going to be very tricky moving the cows through here without smashing a few pots
I'll make my way over to the house and just call out, you in there?
Real quick, are we pulling the trigger on this cow barricade scheme?
I mean, it's going to cost us 50 silver worth of cows to do that, or 25 silver and a nag.
And the law is
coming. They right there on our hooves. They gonna be here soon.
We got to do it.
I'm also not in the back, so if anybody else is literally pulling the trigger on this, I won't have any say on it. And so
I'm just going to point at him and just be like, right, well, two is better than us being caught by the law. Now, we're going to take these bulls through this china shop, and we're going to shoot 2 of them here, and off we go.
Like just in this open space, or
No, in the squeezed bit.
like, because you said it was like about 2 cows wide, so the concept is just shoot 2 cows while they're in there.
All right.
Tony, I need 2 cow names, I guess.
Well, are you the one doing the shooting? Well,
Yeah.
Then I'm gonna bring this one out right now. I don't know the context, and if you want to exit, you can. One of them is named Natalie, and the other one is Stuart Little Big Cow.
I'm sorry, Natalie. Sorry, Stuart Little Big Cow.
Carl, you need
Pow,
me to
no. You end them, but I mean, as you do at this narrow bit, you can sort of hear some like shouting from over here, like, "I heard something!
No, you didn't.
They're over there!"
Oh no.
And then you head down the, you kind of hear like, "We got them off ahead," and then you sort of don't hear anything else.
Smokestack, Uncle Mud Pipes, I got good news and I got bad news. What you want first?
Both, go.
The good news is the lawman ain't following us no more. The bad news is I killed 2 cows, and the lawman's going to cut us off ahead.
Well, the good news is that we know that he's going to cut us off ahead, so we'll be ready for it. So we'll cut him off when he cuts us off. So really, we're going to be cutting off him ahead by cutting off him first. Let's go.
Uncle Mud Pipes.
I also want to point out to everyone watching right now, Walt is doing this with a sore throat right now. Also, too, sacrificing for you to do this voice, and I just want to point out how generous of a person Walt is. So
I'm gonna try to be. I started out muting myself when I coughed. I'm gonna try to be more conscious about that again, so you all don't have to hear me hacking.
That's fine.
It's authentic. Everybody had a cough in the Lost Frontier.
Silver lung.
All that dust.
Yeah.
But I'd called out anybody. Does anybody come out of the house?
Yeah.
Oh,
you call out. There's it takes a bit of time, but the door swings open. You see an old rickety man, really skinny, and got a big leather hat and no shirt on. He's got a shotgun in his hand. He's like, "Who's out there then?"
My good sir, my name is Torchbald Smokestack Beard. We are going to be proceeding through these areas. Do you know who is the owner of these fine pots and pans?
That'll be me. I'm the potter.
Excellent. I'm very interested in your storage and cataloging system here. It's a very interesting process to just have the pots and pans all spread out willy-nilly as if they are just here as a contrived reason to make us hesitantly move through this area. I'm sure that's not the case, but I was interested if you have any feelings about us moving generally through this area with our cattle and what you might need in recompense for that. I don't know what skills do in the system, but I was lost in the streets one time, and so I do have the skill. Always depends on the kindness of strangers as a skill I wrote down thinking this will never come up, and it has.
What skills do they? You get if you think a skill applies to one of your checks, you get advantage. So you get to roll.
Excellent.
Twice.
I definitely think the skill applies to this.
Yeah, we'll
check.
see. We'll see.
Well, he is a stranger, and you are asking for kindness.
Yes.
So first of all, who's leading the cows right now?
I was at point, so about half the cows are behind me, but I did call to him from a distance.
Yeah. So I mean, there's pots and pans everywhere.
Yeah, that's fine.
Could you roll a whiz check to see how well you've led the cows this far?
I keep on hitting the wrong button. That is a nat 20.
Oh yeah. So when you roll a nat 20, you can choose if you want a skill, a new skill based on this, or if you want to take an ace, which could give you a re-roll of any roll of your choosing.
I'm going to take an ace, since I already have a skill that feels like navigating pottery feels fun as a new skill. I'm sure that could be helpful in the long term, but in the short term one-shot mentality in which I am playing, an ace seems like a much better deal.
That seems like a wiser choice. So yeah, you've actually managed to get all the cows like up behind you through this field of pots without breaking a single one. Well, it's simple. You break it, you buy it. That's the business plan I got going on.
I mean, all of a sudden, your storage system absolutely makes perfect sense to me. I get it now. I'm sorry I ever questioned your thing. Here's what I was wondering. What sort of bulk discount could we get on a significant portion of these pots?
Well,
I mean, as you can see, our cattle are very well behaved. But I was just curious if you ever dealt in wholesale or bulk.
Well, I guess I could, provided you break enough of them. Pots go for 4 silver and plates at 2 silver each.
Oh,
And then fancy vases yonder go for 6.
That makes how many of them would I need to break to get a bulk or wholesale discount? Because here's the thing: right now you're dependent on people coming to you. What we could do is we could help with some advertising. We could take some of these pots off your hands, take them out. We sell them. We bring you back our portion. Maybe we get people to start working for us selling the pots also too. We get a cut of theirs, but then you get a cut of theirs also too.
Well, once you buy them, I don't care at all what you do with them.
Right,
if you wanna sell them on, that's on you.
Right, but I
just
mean,
need the silver.
What about a referral fee?
Well, the only people coming through are cattle runners, and that's fine just with that.
We could get more people out here, is what I'm saying.
Well, I doubt that.
Well, I mean, why not? I mean, we could even just tell more cattle runners, hey, take the narrow path. It'll be great.
Well, they have no choice in the matter, do they?
Oh, yeah, there's another path. Also, I mean, I don't know this for sure. They would just hear 2 shots in the distance. Natalie. I don't know that the narrow path is as easily accessible as it's been historically. So you may not be seeing as much foot traffic in the future.
Well, the other way's completely inaccessible. So,
all right,
it's this way or no way.
All right. Well, I guess we'll just see if we can get him through then, and I'll come settle up with you afterwards.
Yeah, you do that. And he finds a rocking chair outside his cabin there, and he sits down, waiting to see how you fare on your exit. Unless you have any more questions, you would ask him.
I'm going to sort of sidle up to him and say, well, my dearest of friends, while you guys are moving the cattle through, I'm going to basically hang back until right at the end. So, well, my dearest of friend, you wouldn't happen to have any dynamite in that fine cabin of yours, would you?
Well, no, but there there might be some up ahead in the mine.
Okay, that's good to know. We may be in a position where we are in need of rapidly diminishing the size of an aperture.
I don't know what that means, but I hope you don't intend to screw up my business plan.
Absolutely not, my dear friend. Absolutely not. And I'm kind of keeping an eye out to see how we're doing here with the cattle going through.
You just hear in the distance, it's really not much of a plan. and to Degustav's question, did I create an MLM or did I create a corporation? Because really,
Yeah.
kind of the same thing.
Or a
If
pyramid scheme.
If you buy one pot and you get someone to buy 2 pots.
You sell pots to all your friends and family.
Yeah.
Get all your friends and family to become cattle wrestlers. We have ruined this man's livelihood, and I'm okay with that.
Well, you still have to roll to exit, so.
Yeah, I'm
Sure,
going to stay
I'm in the
by
front.
him. I'm going to stay by him until we've exited.
Yeah.
I'm happy to roll again to exit. And that's an 18 plus 3 for a 21.
Oh yeah. You managed to navigate this field of pottery without much issue at all.
Okay, I'm
And
going to take my hand off the butt of my gun, which I was about to have to put a bullet in the base of his skull just in case. I'm going to saddle up my tarry horse and wave to him and catch up with Kid Pomade.
I was bringing up the rear of the cattle.
He's looking kind of upset that he's not getting a payday.
Should have taken my offer. We could have worked out something beautiful.
But he's a short-term kind of guy.
I know.
It's a one-shot after all.
I wave to him as I ride past.
He kind of just goes back in his cabin. Seems quite upset. Heartbroken.
He's alive though.
Yeah. So yeah, you head out through the opening, I guess, in front of you. Coming out in this other part of the valley where you see some larger boulders here. You also see what appears to be some sun-worn tracks leading into the side what appears to be like the remains of a campsite just outside the mine entrance, though there's no one here right now.
I think I'm going to trot up on my terrible horse to the remains of the campsite, just see if there's any crates or anything around with some mining equipment in them, because that'd be useful.
Well, there's a mine cart like on the tracks, and the tracks lead into the darkness of the mine.
Nope.
But you can't see anything from where you stand.
If video games have taught me anything, sorry, Walt, go ahead.
I was just saying there probably won't be more hyenas.
That's what they want you to think.
If video games have taught me anything, 2 of us need to get into this minecart and go on an extreme adventure. Is there anything that's a source of light nearby or right inside the entrance? One of the two.
There's like this wooden part of the entrance, sort of a archway of wood, and on that there's an oil lantern hanging.
Cool.
We'll take that with us.
You don't want to look inside a little bit?
I do not want to look inside even the smallest amount, my friend. I have absolutely no desire whatsoever to go into this stinking mine. Maybe. Yeah, let's go in.
I'll take my cigar that I've been constantly puffing on and just light the oil lamp with it.
Oh yeah.
Can I hang it off my umbrella, like the hook at the end, and kind of use it to like give it some elevation, maybe see a little bit further?
I mean, if you want to do that, sure. So you head into the mine. The air is stuffy and dusty. just you can see sort of the pickaxe marks where people have excavated and maybe found riches some time ago. You don't get awfully far before you kind of meet a dead end. It seems the mine has collapsed. Yeah, so you're kind of left at this dead end where it's just a little chamber. There are some boxes. There are some crates and some more of them oil lamps hanging on the wooden columns.
Okay, I'm gonna grab an oil lamp for myself.
Yeah, couldn't
Light it off of Smokestack's cigar if he is so kind, and gonna have a very careful opening of one of these crates, because if we know one thing about dynamite, if you hit it hard, it can go boom.
That's true. See, we're educational and fun.
Right.
So yeah, you open one of these boxes, and I want you to roll a d66, please.
Okay, I will do that with great pleasure.
There's that many hyenas in it.
35 hyenas in the box.
So you find roll a d6 for me.
6.
So you find this crate seems to hold 6 tins of what appears to be lard.
Okay, well, if we've got to grease up anything to get it into a narrow size, then we are suitably lubricated, my dearest friends.
Use it to light stuff on fire.
That's probably a better idea than what I was thinking.
I will say this, as has come up on stream a couple times in the last month, lard itself is not actually flammable, but it is great for making a candle. The flash point of lard, it actually reaches the explosive point before it reaches the flame point.
Damn. Okay, well,
So
we
it's dynamite.
Substitute for dynamite then.
Not that kind of explosion, but just the flash and smoke point. But still.
But as a lubricant.
And you can eat lard, and you cannot eat other types of things. Lard will give you fatty nourishment, which is its major advantage in dungeon crawls.
Yes, you heard it here first. You can eat lard, but not other things. Some other things.
No nutritional value.
It's an educational game as well as entertainment.
Yeah.
Tell all your local schools to order copies of Frontier Scum when it comes out.
Please do. So yeah, there are still 2 crates and 1 barrel that you haven't opened.
Crate and barrel. I'll open the barrel.
Yeah. Roll another d66.
That is going to be 56.
56. You find, in fact, what appears to be a rolled up parchment, like a big one, like a proper big roll of parchment. And when you unfurl it, you see an oil painting, like a landscape painting. Someone must have stashed it here.
What's it a painting of?
It's a landscape painting, so a landscape. You can
I don't recognize the landscape.
You can choose the landscape.
All right, sweet. I love the G. I love the Gia player collaboration on world building.
Yeah.
It's a Dutch countryside landscape.
Well, there's no Dutch people or landscapes in Frontier Scum.
That's fine. It's the Frontier Scum.
Fantasy.
It's the Frontier Scum equivalent of Dutch.
Okay.
You can choose whatever you want, but not that. It's wrong.
Yeah, it's wrong.
It's like some kind of fantasy pastoral land. Doesn't exist.
Well, I'm guessing.
Look, let's just say this: there's windmills and tulips in it, and we'll let people decide where it's from.
So there's a craggy, rocky landscape in Stubbshead County. You might find some more European landscapes. So maybe that's where it's from.
Yeah, it's in Stubbshead County. There's a specific section where there's just a lot of windmills and tulips for whatever
Yeah,
reason.
it's a windy place.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, you reckon this painting would probably be worth like at least 25 silver to the right buyer?
That's as
That's
much
a
as a
cow.
cow.
Yeah.
Oh, cow.
I mean, I get to kill another cow.
Yeah, absolutely. We'd have to kill him and take his painting first. Just saying.
What if we painted the cow? Uncle Mud Pops, what if we paint a cow?
Well, we painted my horse, and that
Didn't work out so well.
That
That
didn't help.
That was tar.
I wonder if covering it in lard would be any advantage.
Smokestack, you want to paint a cow with lard?
I mean, should we just open these crates instead?
Okay,
Okay, you open that one. I'll open this one.
I'm holding this torch, lantern.
Yeah.
Fine,
So,
then.
Walt, do you want to roll a d66, please?
All right, sure. That is a 13.
13. You open a crate. You find what appears to be like a folded up fishing rod. You
Huh.
can sort of assemble when you need, but it's like a fishing rod in 3 parts.
Interesting.
Yeah. And Tom, when you open up the last crate there, you find D4 sticks of dynamite. So if you would roll a D4,
Just one.
you find a stick of dynamite.
Excellent. I'm going to very, very carefully pick it up and give it to Smokestack. Here you go, my friend. Now, I think
give it to the
you're
smoker of the group.
the man with the plan when it comes to this.
I slot it into my oversized cigar holder, which is where I keep any dynamite I have, and I've never gotten the two confused.
I'm sure
Yeah.
this will be the first time.
I hope it's not a self-lighting dynamite.
Like Rugos' self-lighting cigarettes.
Yeah. We had that in one of the play tests. Someone had self-lighting cigarettes, which was interesting.
Wasn't the weirdest thing I saw in one of the play tests I ran.
No, it wasn't. But yeah, you reckon that's about it? There's a barrel, I believe, you haven't opened.
That's where I got the landscape.
Oh yeah. Okay. Then you have picked clean the inside of this abandoned mine.
We can go fishing for cows.
Well, absolutely. There's quite a lot of these lard bottles, kettles. What are they? Tins. I'm just going to kind of put them back into the crate and just carry the crate out.
Oh yeah.
Rather than try and juggle 6 tins like someone that's too cheap to buy a bag at a supermarket.
And just put them in your saddlebags.
In my what?
Saddlebags.
My horse is not in this mine.
It is not.
Wait, what happened to your... Did you leave your horse behind?
I believe you left both the horses and the cows.
Yeah, we're not in
Oh yeah,
in a
none of us.
narrow
Yeah,
mine.
as we were walking in, I was like, "Smart thing is leave someone with the cows," but we're all just going inside. It's fine.
You're right. Yeah, you're right.
All
Missed
right,
that. Never mind. I'm irrelevant.
All right then. We've dallied here far too long, but on the plus side, we do have dynamite. So if we get in a sticky situation, our dearest friend here can light it and sacrifice himself for the greater good.
Also, if we got in a sticky situation, we got that lard, so we can lubricate it right up.
Absolutely. We have got lubrication for days, my friend. Weeks, in fact. Maybe months.
Maybe years.
No, that's ridiculous.
Okay.
Okay, let's go.
We go back out.
Yeah, head back out, carrying the lard and a painting. You get outside, and as you tally up the cows, it seems some have walked away. Would you one of you roll a d10?
Oh,
You
I got
don't
it.
leave the cows unattended.
Oh, I'm Cowminder. Actually, that's probably one of the better rolls I've had all day long as far as cow loss. So let's see. we are gonna lose. Yee howdy has walked off.
Howdy.
Karl and Beef have also wandered away.
What
Oh,
was
yeah.
the third one? Beef.
Beef.
Beef and Karl, yeah.
Bye, Beef. Bye, Carl. Bye, ye howdy.
So yeah, cross those out. And yeah. So you get back out into the sweltering sunshine. And you're kind of starting to feel the effects of the heat. You're getting close to the desert, the endless sands, the big nothing. So as you kind of head out of the mine, which was quite cool, I want you all to roll a grit check as well to see how you fare in the heat.
Well, I am pretty sure that I read somewhere on one occasion that if you rub lard on yourself, it definitely helps to keep the sun up. So I'm going to crack one of the tins and start slathering up the boy.
Okay.
Get it on the back of his neck and get him sorted. You know, as you do.
I've just reached it. I just created a new veil in my mind, and that's anybody using the term slather in relationship to another PC is now off limits.
Especially when they're
It's done in a. I was going to say in like a friendly uncle way, but that makes it sound so much
Yeah,
worse.
we're gonna pull back. And remember, Pomade may be 12 years old, but is also just Walt in all things. So this is just you slathering Walt with lard.
Yeah,
All right. So you head out with empty cans of lard instead. Let's retcon. There was no lard in the cans.
Oh,
Make a grit check. See if there's how you fare in the sun.
I got a 19.
17.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So, Kid Pomade, you're kind of feeling the heat.
It's really hot out.
Well,
You in fact
well.
become miserable hot.
ooh.
So you take 1 point of damage and you're now miserable, which means you don't recover hit points from resting until you solve this situation.
And I'm just sitting here wondering, like, he's got that umbrella.
He's got an umbrella.
Why
like,
isn't he using it?
It's on the horse.
Well, I was hanging the from it earlier, but I guess
Oh yeah. Okay.
in the umbrella.
Well, you didn't use it, so
No, it's fine. Yeah, I 100%. Walt did not bring it up, but that's I'm like, well, listening to Kid Pomade complain about how hot they are. Like, Smokestack doesn't say anything. Just is like, why don't you just use your like internally? I'm like, solve that problem.
yeah.
all right. So yeah, you head back to your horses. You load up on with the empty cans of lard and the painting, and if you want to bring, there were in total 3 oil lanterns with oil.
Yeah.
So
Tie
you
that
can
up
all
on my
hang some
saddlebag.
from your horses. Yeah. You head out. You see the cows that remain, and you also see the campsite outside the mine, which you haven't explored. And then there's a way forward, of course.
I thought somebody poked around the campsite.
I was gonna, but then,
Oh, then you
all I
didn't.
got told about was a minecart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were distracted by the minecart, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, give a cursory. Was there anything big at the camp? Like, was there like a cart or anything large that were like this would be helpful?
There's a couple of what appears to be like someone's rolled a couple of larger stones next to the campfire to have a seat. There's some coal in the campfire that seems to have been recently lit, probably this morning. But I mean, it's really hot out, so it's quite to tell
And
exactly.
when that person gets back, they're going to be pissed. I have their oil paint.
Yeah.
And so, no, it's fine. We'll just keep on going.
Yeah. You head onwards, and you come into this bit of the canyon, which is just full of rocks and boulders. You can see just these huge boulders that you navigate the cows around. You also see a the biggest boulder of them all seems to be shaped a bit like a dog's head. You can't help but notice.
Okay, I'm going to surreptitiously wander towards the dog's head. And
Inconspicuously.
yeah. I just say to the others, I think I saw something up there, a glint in one of the eyes. Let me just check.
I think you got the same madness, Uncle Mud Pops.
I think you should use your umbrella, you damn fool.
Well, I think you should shut up.
I think you should stop thinking, and I need to go and check up here. So I'm going to go up to the dog's head rock, and
I never think.
now you said that the scrap of parchment I found earlier, one of the eyes had an X on it. Was it the left or the right?
Yeah, the left eye.
Okay, I'm going to just go straight to the left eye.
Okay. I mean, it's a huge boulder. You're gonna have to make a slick check to climb it.
And
okay,
I got to know here. Is this Easter egg that you put here? Is this a Walt reference or a reference to your favorite member of TLC, Left Eye?
Well, it's primarily a Walt reference.
Okay.
I think you'll notice the K9 theme throughout the dungeon or canyon. It is an homage.
Karl victimizes me in all things Frontier Scum.
Seems
You're
fair.
a horrible caricature of me in Escape the Oregon Rail.
Yeah, there's a bit of Walt in every part of FrontierScum.
You don't know how much blood of Walt's blood, sweat, and tears are in FrontierScum.
And they're all ridiculed.
So I rolled an 18, Carl, and I get plus 2 on that. So
beautiful.
20.
Yeah. I mean, you climb that dog without problem. Getting up to the left eye hole.
Mm-hmm.
You're like quite far up, but there in the eye hole you can see that someone's beneath a couple of rocks have hidden a locked metal box.
Okay.
It seems to be some sort of lockbox.
Does it look big enough that I could carry it down with me?
Yeah. You probably would need both hands to carry it safely, but then you wouldn't be able to climb very well. So
that, yeah. I'm just going to throw it down to the ground.
Okay. Make a luck check.
It was filled with nitroglycerin.
Here's the dynamite you wanted.
13 plus 1, 14.
Oh yeah. So as you toss it down, as it hits the ground, the lockbox sort of the lock breaks from the impact and springs open while you're still up there.
Excellent.
So Tony and Walt, you can notice that there's suddenly a lockbox smashing into the ground and springing open in front of you.
Excellent.
And it's full of scorpions.
It seems to be full of silver coins.
Oh.
We can go back and buy some pots
now. We appear to have been blessed with a marvelous bounty from the skies.
You yelled from up the rock.
I saw the light glinting off the box, and it seemed a strange place to have a metal object. So it was well worth checking out. Let's divide these spoils equally among us, friends.
You shout from atop the rock while the others inspect the
mound. Frantically clamber back down.
Yeah, so you can make a check to climb down in a hurry.
Yeah.
While the others are counting up the coins.
Yeah, I was going to ask. So, Walt, is your character just illiterate or also enumerate?
Probably both.
You did count to 4 in the bank there, so
I did count to 4.
Maybe,
4's not a really tough number, though.
Yeah, maybe it's just like I can do 10 or 20.
I was thinking like 1 through 3 or maybe 5 or some very low number, like was it like the troll number system in like some setting or some game like trolls know the numbers 1, 2, and mini.
Mini, yeah. I believe it's a Discworld thing. Yeah.
Like that.
So
11 for my climb down roll.
Oh, beautiful. So as you begin to stumble, you actually, as you're counting up, the two of you down there, you kind of, it seems to be 230 odd coins, silver
Wow.
coins.
wow.
And as you look at each other,
54.
realizing that there seems to be exactly 232 silver coins here,
89.
you hear a smack as mud pipes slams into the ground.
If he's
taking-
dead, I get his money.
153 coins. Wow.
So you take a whopping d6 points of damage as you slam into the rocky ground.
Oh dear.
It may just be a
Okay.
It may just be a two-way split after this.
I'm on -3.
Beautiful. So it
I
seems
assume-
you're gonna roll another death check if you want.
Yeah, absolutely am. 14
Mhm.
minus 3, so 11.
11. Oh, that's
Oh. That's good.
yeah, it's a lesson for better or worse.
Oh wow.
Which means you actually might improve your character after this. This is one of two ways your character may get better in Frontier Scum. He's rolling 11 to 15 on the death check table. So if you would roll a d4,
Yep.
and then that determines which skill or which ability, I would say.
I rolled a 3, so
that's
wits.
Wits, yes. What's your current wits?
0.
0. So if you roll a 2 or more, your wits increases by 1 if you roll a d6.
Okay, let's have a go. Yeah, +1 wits.
Yeah. So you get a bit wiser as you slam into the ground. You're still at -3 hit points, but
Oof.
you're and you can only move at a stumble. But you are alive.
I am alive. Okay, I'm gonna let them do the counting, but also keeping a wary eye on them. So okay, so we don't need to worry about the cattle so much now. This has at least made it somewhat worth our while. I would suggest putting some of these coins into some of these empty lard cans and stowing them surreptitiously upon our horses.
It's a great plan.
Nobody's going to open
The
a can of
old lard can trick.
Nobody is going to, when they shake you down, they're going to go, oh, he's got some cans of lard. Well, he's welcome to those. The greasy weirdo.
As long as he doesn't shake the cans.
Well, a bit of lard in there should help to lock them in place.
We're only 3/4 empty in the cans. So that the lard serves as an insulating element.
I'm going to have to eat some of it. And that might help me heal a little bit from my dreadful injuries.
I don't think lard is enough to really help you heal. And it's only after a struggle that you would get to heal a d4. Otherwise, you have to wait until night times and have a
I'm
rest.
not waiting until nighttime.
No, so you're at -3.
I guess you better get your ass back on your horse, Uncle Mud Pops.
I guess we better get on that silver boy.
It's a
well-
question.
We'll get the silver squared away.
Yeah. Do you want to
Back on
split it
horses.
evenly in 2 cans of lard each?
Sure.
Yeah.
Someone who's better at maths than me can figure out the exact amounts. But if it matters, we'll figure it out.
Kid Pomade
Yeah.
won't know the difference.
You've got some cans that jingle.
No, they don't jingle. That's
Okay.
the whole point. It's stealth lard money.
Yeah.
Lard stealth.
So
Mhm.
you've eaten a third of 6 cans of lard. That's still like
We've
a
eaten
whole.
2/3 of 6 cans of lard.
Oh yeah.
I didn't actually say we eat them. I said we would take care of the lard.
Yeah,
So-
okay, so only Mudpipes has eaten his
Yeah.
share of the lard.
Tony, give me a cow name.
Give you a cow name?
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh no, not the greasy cow.
Jiggle Tits.
All right. Well, I guess I feed some of the lard to Jiggle.
I think it's made of cow. You shouldn't do that.
Reference.
Lard is lard cow? Tallow's cow. Look, this is definitely an educational stream, so I'm going to sort this out real quick.
Edutainment.
I just think you should not be feeding cow to cow. That's how bad things happen. You get like the circle of cow should not be engaged.
Yeah, this lard is pig.
Oh, it's fine then.
You look
Feed
on
away, young man.
you look on the can and it says pig. Pig lard.
Yeah, beef is tallow, pork is lard.
You learn something every day. All right. Yeah. you proceed forward through the boulders and the rocks, I suppose.
Yep, I'll take point.
Mudpipes kind of bent over on his nag there, hurting a bit. You might have sprained your ankle, but you're wiser for it.
Do not climb rocks you don't know.
It was worth it. We can buy a doctor with this money.
Yeah. And you head through the rocks into more rocks as the canyon kind of opens up. And in front of you, behind the rocks, you can see the endless plains of sand that is the big nothing. But you still got these rocks to navigate.
Well, I have a nasty feeling that the law said they were going to head us off. So if we're going to get headed off anywhere, it's probably going to be here.
Well, you know, I can't imagine that the gods above would possibly just cruelly inflict a combat on us at the end of this this long journey, just to showcase what they can do in life.
Well, I think your faith is not wisely placed, my friend.
Would you who among you have the highest wits?
I have 3 in wits.
Oh.
Never.
So would you roll a wits check?
That's another natural 20.
Oh boy. Do you want a skill or do you want another ace?
You know what? I've got 2 aces. Let's take a skill this time.
Okay.
So we can showcase that.
Yeah, so you're now skilled at spotting ambushes. As you're kind of moving through the canyon, you sort of suddenly you hear a spattering of rock, like someone misstepped on top of the boulders, and you kind of look that way and you see someone quickly pop their head down, and yeah, you're well aware you're in an ambush.
Cool.
And you didn't get hit before the combat starts. I want one of you to roll initiative.
I'll do that.
Yeah.
Nope. What's a 1?
That's a 1. So
there's an ambush, he yells, right?
and then the bullets start flying. So you're kind of on top of horses in the middle of the boulders and the cows. How many cows are there left? Do you have a head count?
I don't think the sheet auto counts. Let me do a quick. Is it 10 per row?
Yeah, 10 per row.
We've got 28 cows left.
Oh yeah, that's plenty of cows still around you.
Yeah.
But yeah, the 3 of you can all check luck, because it's a sort of tough shot for them to make from behind the rocks. They're kind of hiding up in the rocks.
What does testing luck look like?
You roll a d20, add your luck.
Oh, because luck is
like
a stat.
any
I
other
forgot that.
Yeah.
I got 3, but +1, So I got 4.
Oh, yeah, you're hit.
And aces allow a reroll. Is that correct?
Yes, but you have to take the new roll.
That's fine because I also rolled a 3, and I would like to not have that as my number.
I would like to point out at this point then that yes, I was hit, but
You want to lose your hat.
I'm going to have to. I'm dead
Okay.
otherwise.
Not necessarily.
So there's the hat rule, which I haven't covered yet. But before an attack is rolled, you may lose your hat. Since we hadn't covered it yet, I'll allow you to lose your hat. But usually it's before the attack happens.
Okay.
Or at least before damage is rolled, I believe the rule is. So
Yeah.
Any numbers would be bad numbers for me at this point.
I got a 19 on luck.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. How much?
12.
12. Yeah. So your hat flies into the air as a barrage of rifle bullets just fill the air. You're aware that you're kind of surrounded. There's shots coming from, in fact, all cardinal directions. You've some behind you. There appears to be in total, in fact, 7 people shooting at you from different angles. Your hat flies into the air. The cows get a bit spooked, and that's the law folks' first turn. They haven't made themselves easy targets yet. They're kind of staying in cover.
Can you laser point generally where they are? I know you said all cardinal directions, but give us a little bit of a sense.
Sure. So you're. I'm gonna move this marker. You're kind of here at this point.
Yep.
There's some shooting coming from over here. There's some shooting coming from over here. There's some shooting coming from this rock here, and some from this rock here.
Okay.
Sorry, Carl. I didn't mean to move the token. It just somehow got under my cursor.
I'll forgive you this time.
All right, it won't happen again unless it does.
In which case, I won't forgive you.
Understandable.
But yeah, it's your turn. You haven't got a bead on anyone in particular. They would all be considered hard, tough shots to hit if you wanted to shoot them.
Well, I think this is a perfect time for dynamite. I'm going to try to throw a stick of dynamite right here.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah, you guys can go first. I'm going to hit the bathroom and I'll be right back.
Cool.
So a stick of dynamite isn't a gun, so it doesn't auto hit.
I did realize that as I said it.
You're gonna roll a slick check.
Slick. My worst stat.
Do you have any skill you think would help in this situation?
No, I took a bunch of dumb skills. My skills are good for blowing smoke at people, hitting the ground hard, depending on the kindness of strangers. I could try to depend on the kindness of these people, or spotting ambushes now. So.
Okay, well, throwing a stick of dynamite won't. I don't think that applies.
Unless you're going to let me stick it in my mouth and just it needs to go.
I mean, it probably won't go very far.
No, I didn't think so. So I'm going to roll slick, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we've got 13 all day.
Beautiful. Okay, so usually 12 is the number to hit unless I say otherwise.
Okay.
Which means you succeed. So you throw the stick of dynamite over yonder.
Yeah, kind of between where I think those two groups of people shooting at us are.
Yeah. It flies over the heads of cattle, landing somewhere between these two rocks.
I mean, I was in front of all the cattle.
Okay, so you're sort of over here.
Yeah.
But yeah, the stick of dynamite lands pretty much exactly where you wanted it to. You lit it, I suppose. I would assume.
Yes, I did. I did light it on my cigar and then throw it.
It blows up. It's kind of not point blank with either rock. So
yeah, my goal was like it's great if it kills any of these guys, but having a stick of dynamite go off near you is very disorienting also too, and that was that's my primary goal.
So usually a stick of dynamite is d4 plus 4 damage, exploding of course, but I would say in this case they take half damage. So if you want to roll d4 plus 4, you will halve it.
And exploding means reroll damage.
A reroll on a 4.
Okay, so that's going to be 7 damage.
7, so that's 3.5. We'll say 3 points of damage to the fellas hiding behind those rocks as they kind of get disoriented.
Was I still adding the 4?
Yeah.
Oh, so then it's 11 damage. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
It did explode one time. That's why I was checking.
Okay, yeah. Then that's halved is still 5. So you actually hear like the screams in that case, as you see sort of 2 law folk deputies flying backwards from the blast, hitting the ground very much dead. It's a sort of Wilhelm scream situation. Falling very dramatically down from the rocks, dead on the ground. The cows get sort of startled, moving in this sort of way, beginning to kind of move away from the action. Yeah. What do you want to do, Walt?
Do the cows look like they're getting ready to stampede, or are they just kind of still just agitated?
Well, they're getting like they're kind of used to gunshots at this point. They're cows in the Lost Frontier, but the dynamite sort of set them running the other way. There's probably not any immediate danger, but they might start leaving the area if left unattended. So you could try to herd them in, or you could do something else.
I guess I'll try to keep the ones that are moving away closer to the rest of the herd for now.
Yeah, you want to like herd them, kind of move back and try to get ahead of them, keeping them from running off. Yeah.
Control.
Make a wits.
Got my revolver out.
Check. Yeah.
Do you need a roll from me or anything?
Yeah, wits check. Wits check, please.
Okay, sorry. Oh, I'm gonna. Aha! It was almost a 3, but instead it's a 19.
Yeah. So you kind of move ahead of them and kind of keep them from running back.
All right, cool.
In this fray, Tom, what do you want to do?
I am gonna dash for the exit.
Okay.
I'm just gonna
run ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uncle Mud Pops.
I'm clearing a path. Clearing a path.
Okay.
And while I do that, I'm going to shout at the top of my voice. Now you listen here, lawman. We've got plenty more of that dynamite. We've got buckets and buckets of it. We found so much of it in the mine back there. You are all going to die if you do not leave us alone. Well, I'm just like going top hobble on my terrible horse.
Yeah, I mean the horse is probably moving about as fast as you stumble. It's a very tired nag. You can make I would say a slick check, because you're trying to be kind of slick with tricking them.
I am. It's all I've got. 14, 15, 16.
Okay, then I'm gonna You can roll a morale check for them. So
Okay.
2d6. Yeah.
2d6, yeah?
Yeah.
4.
So they kind of like the fire, the rifle fire kind of ceases for just a second. You imagine them looking at each other, but then they seem to call your bluff, and the fire continues. Pew, pew, pew. There's rifle fire everywhere, but you're starting to move this way, out of the herd and on outside of the herd, into your own little getaway. All right, we're gonna roll another initiative for this round.
Roll high.
So that's a 3.
Damn it.
Okay.
Not high enough.
So one of them, these guys over here are dead. Someone on this rock, as you kind of ride down here, Tom,
Mhm.
he kind of stands up to get a better shot at you, and just fires a repeater.
Okay, so he,
And since he's standing up, making himself a target,
mhm.
and you're moving quite slow. If you're moving with an actual horse, it would probably be a tough shot. But you're moving pretty slow on this nag, so he's gonna hit you. The
Okay.
D6 damage.
Do I roll the d6, yeah?
Yeah. You don't have a hat anymore.
Oof. So he's done me for 1 point, which puts me to minus...
4, I think.
yeah, -4.
Yeah, not death check, please.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Not Uncle Mudpipes.
18.
18.
18 -4 is 14.
14. Oh, it's another lesson for better or worse.
Yes.
If you would roll another.
You can't take me down. You can't take me down.
You get a glancing shot. Let's see what it hits you. What ability do you roll? Roll a d4.
2 on a d4.
Okay, so that's slick.
Okay.
What's your current slick?
+2.
So if you roll a 3 or more, you get another point.
Got a 3.
Yeah, so you're at +3 slick. As the bullet sort of glances, hitting you, sort of in the arm, but it kind of goes right through, and you think it made you slicker.
I reckon, yeah, it's like
gonna-
loosen
yeah.
the tendon or something.
Yeah, I mean the
Speed hop.
yeah, you get a bit loosened up. You get a stretched tendon, which helps you miraculously. You're still moving away, sort of still shot on your horse, trying to escape. Tony and Walt, you're still in the sort of mess of things. One of them stood up on the rocks, the others kind of hanging back, still hiding in cover. So you can still make a luck check to see if you get hit in this flurry.
15.
15.
17.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of move around on your horses, and just from sheer luck, perhaps you manage to not get hit as the bullets fly, hitting the rocks instead. And then it's you guys' turn. So you got the one guy standing up. You've killed 2 out of 7, so there's still 5 people. There seems to be 2 over here, 1 over here, 1 over here, and 1 over here who's standing up this very moment, making him an easy target as you're on the horse.
I know, I know that oh, who is it? I know that Mudpie already tried this, but I'm just gonna take the cigar out of my mouth and yell fire in the hole and throw it over at the like grouping of them here.
Yeah.
My only goal is to make them think it's a thing and jump away from it, kind of getting them out of position. But
Okay. Yeah.
so that's
Yeah,
what
sure.
I'm going to do.
Okay. That sounds like a sort of deception thing to do.
I mean, it
So
sounds
I
like a
would-
smart thing to do to me, but I'll roll slick instead.
Yeah. Wits is more for well, regular persuasion, I would say.
That's fine. I have +3 on wits and -2 on slick, so it's almost always better to do. It's for me, but that's still 15 all day.
Oh yeah. So the ones over here, they kind of, as you throw the lit cigarette or cigar towards them, they kind of get up and they do move out of position and they're no longer in cover. But they soon realize that it is not a stick of dynamite. But yeah, they're out of cover
That's
now.
fine.
So
I'm just trying to flush them out. So
yeah, so the 4 over here, they're all out of cover. There's still someone hiding behind the rock here on top of it.
Okay, well, I'm going to shoot the one that stood up and tried. Well, I say tried to shoot me. He did shoot me, and
He did.
he's dead. I'm going to shoot him. I'm going to shoot him right in the.
Yeah, I mean, he's up on the rock, a regular distance away, I think, for a revolver to hit. They're using rifles.
Yeah.
But, I would say it's within a reasonable range for a revolver to just hit. So
I'm not
roll
going to do anything
damage.
fancy. Just shoot him.
Just a d6 of damage. Let's see.
Okay. So that's a 6.
Beautiful. So that's exploding. You got a
Okay, so-
revolver. You can fan the hammer. Keep shooting.
And the hammer. So that's
He dies.
yeah, he does.
And there's not really anyone else in
No.
view, in range with a revolver, I would say.
So that puts.
I would let you roll like to keep shooting if you want to shoot the guy who just got out of cover here, but you would have to make a slick check to hit.
Why not? I'll do a slick check. 15.
Oh yeah, I would say that hits definitely.
So does that put the explode damage onto him?
Yeah.
So that'd be 3 points onto him.
Yeah, he gets like a shot in the gut. Didn't hit nothing important, but he's definitely wounded from that hit.
I'm going to keep.
He kind of stumbles a bit.
I'm going to keep on my way though as well.
Yeah, and then you keep moving. You're probably getting out of revolvering range of any of them.
That's a price I'm willing to pay.
Okay. So Tony, you've acted. Tom, you've acted. Walt, what do you want to do? There's 3 people over here out of cover, one of which just got shot in the gut.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to aim for him.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna avenge you, Uncle Mudpipes.
I'm not dead yet.
You will be. Don't worry. Just be patient.
All right, so that's within just auto hit range, right?
Yeah, you're like here. He's
All right.
up here.
5.
5. Yeah, you end him.
Take that.
He falls down from the boulder as the cows move around, and yeah, you've reduced the number significantly. You can make another morale check for them. They're down to just
You want to
3
do that?
people.
Well, you thinned them
Yeah.
out. You roll them down.
Roll 2d6.
That's 2 and 5, 7 total.
7 total. That's not enough, unfortunately.
Yeah, next time someone else should roll.
They're kind of like, you can hear screaming, "Oh, Rick's down! Keep shooting! Keep shooting!"
Rick was weak and stupid. He deserved it. We should all run away now. Go on.
But they don't.
Damn it. I was so persuasive.
Walt, do you want to roll another initiative?
Sure. 5. Yes, it was
Oh
almost,
yeah.
but then it wasn't.
So they haven't had time to get back into cover. I would say these people over here by this rock are probably a bit tricky to hit. There's one. Well, you killed the one who was here, so there's 2 here, 1 here.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna ride. I'm gonna plug out my shotgun and just kind of ride my horse around this rock. My goal is to just shoot him with my shotgun, but I don't know if I can do that.
Which rock do you mean?
Sorry, I forgot to click down right here. So
Yeah.
I want to boom.
The one in cover, yeah.
Yeah. And so, but I'm gonna move to do it. Is that cool?
Yeah, that sounds fine. I don't think under the circumstances that would be a very tough shot as you're running around. He's kind of lying against the back of this rock, the boulder. You run around, unload. Do you want to hit with both barrels or just one?
I do want to hit with both barrels.
Do it.
That's going to be a 7 damage.
You blast his back, and there's just this spray of blood. And he kind of begins sliding down the rock towards you, leaving a trail of blood on the boulder. Walt, what do you want to do? There's only 2 people left. There's standing on this rock, not yet back into cover.
I'm gonna shoot at least one of them, or die trying.
Yeah. So, like I mentioned, they're probably out of revolver range. You would have, if you don't want to make a tough shot, but you could sort of separate from the herd and move towards them.
Yeah, I guess I'll do that.
Yeah. Do it. Just roll some damage. Yeah. You can see that one of them seems to be like wearing this sort of bronze-looking deputy star, while the other one is wearing a silver one, which is shining, and he's actually shooting with a revolver.
I'll aim for the silver one.
Oh yeah, gonna shoot the sheriff,
but not the deputy.
That's what I was going for. I rolled a 6.
Damage or well, you're exploding, aren't you, with the revolver?
Kaboom! Sound a gun makes.
Kaboom! Kaboom!
Oh, damn it!
You roll a 1.
I do 7 damage, but I'm out of ammo.
Okay, so you kind of you empty your gun, just firing.
Click, click, click.
If you hadn't shot off 3 shots in the air before that in excitement, it would have been probably
or killed those 2 poor cows unnecessarily.
Yeah.
Waste of bullets, man. Why would
And
you?
money.
Here.
So yeah, he's kind of wearing this heavy sheriff's duster coat that seems to kind of lessen the damage somewhat. He still took a bad shot to the shoulder, and sort of falls back towards the rock. And then it's their turn. You kind of rode closer, so the deputy who is just standing next to the sheriff loosens his revolver rifle, a repeater rifle, upon you. If you would roll a d6 damage, since you're now quite an easy shot.
You wouldn't shoot a 40-year-old, would you?
He would.
What was that, slick?
No, you're hit.
your damage.
Roll
Yeah.
a d6. Roll
Sorry.
a d6. Before you roll, you may choose to use your hat.
Yes. What's the die that he's using for his weapon?
A d6 exploding. It's a repeat rifle.
Oh man. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and lose my hat.
All right. So as you're kind of like keeping you shot the sheriff, you're kind of in the middle of like turning your horse around so it doesn't run straight into the boulder. He shoots your hat off. And then it's the sheriff's turn, who's kind of lying on the rock, also shooting at you. So if you roll another d6 exploding, please. as he's kind of lying against the rock, shooting at you. But he's not in cover.
That's a 6.
Oh boy, it's exploding as well. So keep on rolling. It works both ways, man.
That's a 5, so 11.
11 points of damage.
So I'm at -8.
Yeah, make a death check. You said you wanted Kid Pomade to die by the end of this.
Looks like I'm gonna get my wish. Well, I might. It seems extremely likely that I'm
Yeah,
gonna.
so roll a d20, add your grit, -8 then.
I have a question.
Natural 1. My grit is -1, so that's 0. So we're negative.
Oh no. Okay.
This is 100%
like,
my question. Is there a negative amount on this chart?
well, it's 1 or less, you're
Okay.
dead. A natural 1, which means it's not an ability check, so you don't lose your aces. But
And
you are.
and anybody who's doubting the validity of this natural one because Walt specifically said they want to die, I'll just go ahead and slide over here on the thing so that everybody can see. This is not a I just want to die choice.
You rolled a beautiful, that's like what, -7 in total on your check, but it's a natural 1, which means that you're dead, but it's somehow even worse than that. So as you just, like the sheriff kind of aiming his revolver, firing, pow, he hits you, you fall off your horse, hitting the ground and the back of a cow, like its side of a cow, and the cows sort of just take that as a they get shocked and begin to run this way. So you're gonna lose, like I would say, D10 cows are beginning to hurry back the way you came. Roll a D10.
Those cows are worth so much more than he was as well.
Yeah.
Brutal.
I was
you're-
40 and we had 40 cows, but now I'm not 40 and we don't have 40 cows anymore, and now I'm dead.
It's a prophecy.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're totally dead.
Yes.
Completely 100% utterly dead. And
It
you
was-
lost how many cows?
Do what? We lost some more. We now have 21 cows left. We lost 4 cows.
What were the names?
Oh, the names of these cows. Scroll back up to that section of the chat. Big Mama, Strawberry Milk, Automated Foliage Processor, Degustav, Dong Like a Didgeridoo. I'll just call D-Lad by us for short. And yeah, those are the 4 we lost.
All right, so they kind of just head back up the canyon, and the Kid Pomade's dead. His horse ran with the cattle away in fear, and yeah, it's just the 2 of you, and Mudpipes is going the other way.
It's mostly just me right now. It feels
Yeah.
like
You with 21 cows.
Remember the time I played that game with you and you all abandoned me? By one of you by dying, the other one by choice. And
So there's really just there's 2 people over here left. You've got the cat
Yeah,
here in the middle.
it's me and the sheriff.
You're over here,
the-
yeah,
the sheriff is on top of the rock right now.
yeah, he's next to a deputy over here. They're both 2 remaining law folk are over here.
I'm gonna.
So they just had their turn,
Yeah.
and I believe you rolled a 5 on the
Oh, so it's
initiative.
us
so I
first.
believe
I'll
you-
roll initiative since I'm still alive. That's a 4.
Yeah, 4. So you get to act.
I'm gonna switch to my revolver and shoot at the sheriff.
Okay. So you kind of you I guess you move forward a bit to
Yeah, like I
over
kind of
here.
come around.
come around the corner
unwisely
and-
putting myself out in the
in
mainstay.
the open. Yeah. So take a shot at the sheriff. He's on the rock. He's not in cover.
That's a
I
5.
think it's 5 damage.
Mhm.
Yeah, you pop him. Describe how you absolutely destroy this sheriff.
He's looking down, grimacing menacingly at just having killed a 40-year-old, 12-year-old.
I shot a kid.
Framing him clearly as somebody who, in our mind's eye, we don't like. And then all of a sudden, the side, like as he's looking down, like we actually just see the bullet like pass in behind his eyes, like popping them out towards the screen, and then exiting out the other side as he slumps down off the rock.
It's a 3D movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Everybody in the audience just kind of goes like this for a second.
And as you've killed their leader, would you roll a morale check for the soul remaining?
Is that 2d6?
Yeah.
That's a 9.
Yeah, so he kind of just sees this gruesome death. He hops down behind the boulder and he begins to bolt. Tom, you're still moving out of the canyon, I suppose.
I'm making sure it's clear up ahead, you see.
Yeah, it's endless desert.
Very clear.
Yeah. Okay. So if I sort of, I'm holding on to this horse. I'm bleeding from several new holes that I didn't have earlier in the day, and probably some that I did have at the start of the day. You don't want blood coming out of those ones. So I'm sort of holding on to my horse to sort of look back. And what can I actually see, like, amongst these rocks? I can see the cattle started.
Yeah, the cattle's kind of between you and the action over here, so you can't see much, but it seems the shooting's died down significantly.
Can I see anyone?
Not really. I guess you can see probably a smokestack on top of his horse.
Okay, I'm gonna wave at him. See what he sort of does.
Yeah, the deputy kind of just begins to run up the canyon over here.
Over where, sorry?
Over this.
The opposite direction, the way we didn't go.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna kind of
running away.
I really want to check ahead to make sure that there's no one there, you know?
Yeah, you want to like move all the way out the canyon.
I just want to make sure that we haven't just escaped the pre-ambush.
There seems to be no one else as you clear the canyon.
Okay, I'm going to loop back round then towards Smokestack.
I'm gonna grab the sheriff's rifle off the rock next to him and just see if I can take a beat on that guy as he runs off.
Yeah, sure. Grab the repeater. I would say he's not made it too far, considering you're using a rifle.
Right.
If you were using something else, it'd be a top shot, but you're using a rifle, so just roll some damage.
That is a 6.
Boom! It's a repeater, so you get to keep shooting.
That's another 6.
And you get to keep shooting.
And that's a 3, so that'll be
15 you
damage.
just like several shots in the back as he's running, and he just falls forward. I will say, Tom, you notice that there seem to be horses hidden behind this rock over here as you're heading back.
Oh, okay. Well, as I go over towards, I'm going to go over towards those horses and kind of go towards the nicest looking one.
Yeah, the sheriff's
one.
Yeah.
And just kind of slump across onto it, and then just put a bullet into the head of my piece of crap horse.
Okay. Yeah, sure. You do.
Yeah. Goodbye, Stormy Joy, you useless tarry piece of crap.
Okay. You got a riding horse, as well as 6 other riding horses. You get the cattle under control. You pick some stuff off the bodies. You get the lard. Well, you don't get Walt's lard because his horse ran back up the canyon. And you know there's more law coming, so you're aware that you might not want to backtrack.
Well, you know what? Like, it doesn't seem fair to like just leave him here to rot in the
He is your nephew, so
he is my nephew. So I'll tie him like onto the back of the horse and take him with me.
Oh yeah.
It's not going to be
give him a desert burial somewhere.
Yeah, or like feed him to like something that's attacking us, or
if it becomes unuseful.
It's backup meat.
I mean, at the end of the day, if he's on there for long enough, it's jerky, isn't it?
People jerky.
in a manner of speech. Yeah. So you can clean up. You get the cattle remaining in order, 21 prize cattle.
That's blackjack.
Yeah. And is there anything in particular you want to do before you head out into the endless desert?
I got to pee. We've been riding on these things all day long, and so I just, I do that, but then we're good to go.
Yeah.
Seems reasonable.
Light up a new cigar.
There you go.
I'm going to just search the saddlebags of this horse that I'm on without getting off of it because I'm too hurt.
Roll a d66.
Okay.
See what you find.
1. Whoops, that's a d4. That doesn't help anyone. 17. Sorry, no, 15. I can't read numbers apparently.
15. You find some reading glasses in a little glass case, like a little box.
I'll put them on. They make me look
Some reading
smarter.
glasses.
Why not?
Everything goes blurry.
I'll
Disadvantage.
put them down slightly like that, so it looks like I'm wearing them, but I'm actually not.
Yeah.
the smartest way to wear glasses.
Yeah.
And I'll use my breath control skill to blow a big puff of smoke up in the air that says "the end?" Question mark.
Question mark.
As you ride into the not quite sunset, just sweltering sun of the endless desert, off to make your quicksilver.
Cattle drop.
And it's time for our reaction roll. Reaction roll is a live stream inside of a live stream. It's our chance to sit down with the creator of a game we just played and talk to them about playing that game. Today, we just finished playing Frontier Scum with Karl Druid. Karl, for folks who joined us late, why don't you tell them who you are, what you do, and tell us a little bit about Frontier Scum.
Yeah, I'm Karl Druid, probably best known for making Mörkborg web generators, Scumburger, Scumatorium, Dungeon Gen, Monster, and such. But I also do some RPG content. I've done some Mörkborg stuff in the past, as well as some very unknown Swedish stuff. The biggest project so far is Frontier Scum, which is a acid Western role-playing game. Inspired quite a bit by Dead Man in particular, which is the ultimate acid Western movie.
Awesome. I love it. I had a great time playing. I would love to hear from some of our other folks, though. Also, if you have questions on stream, I know Trash already dropped in a question about character creation, but if you have questions, thoughts, anything you want to ask these wonderful people that's connected to the game, I know this audience. I know you. Go ahead and drop into the chat. If you're watching later and want to drop into the comments, feel free as well. But let's start with Tom. Tom, why don't you tell people who you are, what you do, and what it was like to play Frontier Scum again, because this is not your first time playing.
It's not my first rodeo, no. I did previously play one of the play tests with some of these beautiful, weird people.
Interestingly, your first rodeo was a rodeo. That's the most interesting part about that.
Yeah, it was. Maybe. But Mud Pipes was a character I actually played before in the playtest, and it was nice to revisit his cowardly dreadfulness, which is always fun. It's nice to play a character that's maybe a little bit different to what you'd normally play. So anyway, about myself, I said I'm kind of new to the whole tabletop RPG kind of scene. I sort of picked up, I'm going to pronounce it the wrong way, but I picked up a copy of Morkborg, and it's been a slippery slope since then. It's great. I love it. The rest of the time I'm more in the sort of war games miniatures side of the hobby. That's my resin caster and sculptor.
Awesome.
You just released your first non-war game tabletop game, didn't you?
Oh, I did. Yes, I did. Yeah, it's a piece of artwork up on the wall there. You see my my little pentagram there. It's up on itch. I'm not very good at giving these link things, but yeah, it's up on itch. It's a mini RPG about summoning demons called Sixth Circle, and it was for the Lingua Ludorum Summer Out of Control RPG Jam, which has been a lot of fun. A lot of mad creative stuff going on there. So yeah, no, it's been great fun. But yeah, no, I said I'm quite new to the whole thing, but I love Frontier Scum. As soon as I saw Karl start chatting about it, I was like, oh, that sounds brilliant. That sounds like something I want to play with my mates. And I've not been disappointed. You know, it's a great game.
You did play it with your mates.
I literally did play it with my mates. Yeah, we had one of them as a backup. In fact, if Walt wasn't feeling quite up to scratch today, you know, we had a great time playing it in person. And literally, we finished our session, and the next question was, when are we playing again? For me, that sums up that Karl's done a great job with this.
That's always the best question to get asked. Speaking of questions, do you have any you want to ask Karl about the game?
Not really. I tend to badger him constantly with questions all of the time. So I think he's pretty much covered everything. But why a Western, I guess?
Oh yeah, that's a good question. So, like, I think I've always been into Westerns, like more as a concept than as a genre. Like I grew up watching like the spaghetti stuff, like Clint Eastwood. But then I actually went through a phase in high school where I wore a cowboy hat to school, which made me an outcast, I guess. But I didn't really get into like role-playing games with Westerns because none of them really fit my style. So then I figured, hey, this Mörkborg style of playing really works for me, so I'm gonna make a hack of a Western. And then as time went on, yeah, it sort of developed its own style and its own rule set. You can still definitely tell the pedigree, the heritage of Mörkborg in some of the rules and some of the themes, but it's thanks to the people I've worked with and all the people who have helped out on the Discord server. It's definitely kind of gotten an identity of its own.
No, it's been really cool to see it develop over the sort of time. You know, it's just one of those projects where you've taken a lot of community input into, you know, some of the random tables, some of the items, things like that, and that in itself has been really like fascinating process. As someone that's quite new to the whole scene, it's been really interesting to watch.
Yeah, it's been like very collaborative, I would say. Like especially the Liber Liderum server, it's been a huge part of the effort, and there's a lot. It's the hardest part of developing FrontierScum has been trying to keep some stuff secret from you guys because I don't want y'all to know everything. So that's been probably the greatest challenge, just not oversharing, which I did a lot in the beginning. So.
Turns out it's not a Western game after all. And so, no, I love that community build and feel. Speaking of folks who are active in the community in the Liber Ludorum server, Walt, why don't you tell people who you are, what you do, and what it was like for you to play FrontierScum again?
Yes, hello, I'm Walton Wood. Again, probably best known for my blog, Liber Ludorum, where I talk about print culture and material culture and more of the physical aspects of tabletop role-playing games. I was Karl's copy editor for FrontierScum. So I've had my hands in this from the very beginning as a playtester and then working on the manuscript and stuff like that. Kid Pomade is a character that I played in a playtest where we played it was
Ancient Skin, I believe.
Not Death and Pest.
Yeah.
That's a different
For
one.
Mörkborg.
Yeah. Kid Pomade died that time too. Originally, he was going to die over the course of like 8 hours, but then near the end of that, just got flayed. The countdown timer started when his face got ripped off, and then he lost the rest of his skin. So it was kind of a fitting ending. But yeah, I had a lot of fun just playing that character again. Definitely one of my favorites, and also getting to play him opposite Mud Pipes, who's another one of my all-time favorite playtest characters. So yeah, just want to throw out that when Frontier Scum releases, I'm also going to be releasing a procedurally generated adventure called The Bark Witch of Carcass Country, which is based on Bark Hexen, which was the first collaboration between Pelle Nilsson and Johan Nohr. Excuse me.
Makers of Mörkborg.
Yeah.
What? I've never heard of that game before.
Awesome. Did you have any questions you wanted to ask?
Just one kind of, Karl already answered it earlier, but I'll softball it in there for anyone who may be joining us late. Karl, you're really specific that this is not a historical setting in any way, shape, or form. What is the importance of that for you? Because I think that's a really important part of the game and one of my favorite points about it.
Yeah, like it kind of also, as the game changed, it started out as because I didn't really have any experience with making a Western game since I haven't before, and I kind of just started with the base template that this took place in the US, and it's like historical. You got the dollars and everything, and yeah, I kind of realized as I was developing that there's a lot of like, especially as I was researching by watching old Western movies, a lot of them are very problematic, and they bring up topics which are very important to bring up, but it's also perhaps not. I feel like if you had a game with those topics, those difficult topics, they would and should occupy a big part of the play experience. And in this case, there was not the kind of game I wanted to run dealing with those topics.
Deguskov just asked if somebody could share the link to the Frontier Scum Discord server. I believe if you go to FrontierScum.com or the link right below all of our faces, it is linked there. But if I am incorrect and somebody drops me that link, I'll put it in the chat. No, I love the like we've had some conversations this last year as people have wanted to do like Western hacks of Down We Go and other stuff like that about why I find the genre problematic, which there's numerous layers to, right? And so I think the approach of the clear approach of this is not a historical setting, and it's explicitly not intended to allow people to replicate these things and don't play the game if you want to do that, is one of the clearest ways to kind of separate it from some of those pieces, while still allowing you to do this. I love the vibe of the whole thing. Karl, this is my first chance to explore something extensive that you've made, and so it was really cool as somebody who wasn't a part of those early conversations to get the book, to see all the different procedural pieces in it, some of the different things that you have planned. Obviously, it's a preview; it's not 100% done. We put a little bit up on the screen earlier, and the core pages, the core rules, like the reference sheet, is 2 pages of information, right? Two A5 pieces or 1 A4 piece of paper. It fits easily within the little box that I'm showing you all right now on the screen. But I love the little bits of anti-canonical lore building you do with like the placement ads. As somebody who's a big fan of like weird brand placement stuff, especially within this time frame and genre, it just hits the vibe really well and gives even outside of just the tables, a lot of the flavor that you might want to incorporate in this, or gives things for somebody running the game to be able to pull from, which I just think is super tremendous. Somebody asked a question, Trash asked a question about character creation. I'd love to know a little bit more from your perspective, but as somebody who just created a character for the first time the other day, it was really interesting when I looked at the character creation setup for stats. You roll 2d4 and look at the difference between them kind of positively and negatively, which means your stats can swing from -3 to +3, basically. It's very, very swingy and very cool. I actually liked luck as a stat a whole lot, even though I forgot about it until halfway through our play, because I'm a big fan of 3 and 4 stat systems, and I rarely see luck come into play in what's more of a trad game outside of like Troika. And I do like that as a, hey, here, did it happen or not? It's one of your stats. You can improve it. But I think for me, and then we rolled to see like what you're wanted for, a couple aspects about yourself. But a lot of it is you're not making necessarily a whole lot of choices. You're doing a lot of rolling to see who your character is and what they're about. And obviously, if you're looking at the list, you can always just say, I want to be that thing. But I really loved it. I think it took me maybe the first time through maybe 10 minutes to read through the process and get a handle on it. And then after that, it was like, hey, it takes 3 minutes to make a character. It's very quick, very fluid. And you even popped up some backup characters in case, you know, Kid Pomade died right away, which was great. For the adventures you're building into it, you know, Walt talked about, you know, he did a procedurally generated adventure he's got coming out. There's the ability to just do the procedurally generated one, and you know your handle on everything is make data, not lore. For the adventures that you're including, like Oregon Rail and other stuff like that, are those procedural? Are those things you're designing intentionally just to kind of showcase different parts of it, or is it kind of a mix of the two?
Well, that's a good question. I haven't made a whole bunch of adventures yet. I'm sure that I'm gonna find a style that I really like. The Escape the Oregon Rail adventure, which is the one in the book, it's intended to both set the stage of the setting as well as kind of introduce characters to the rules. Like some of the rules that are generally only for PCs are given to some of the NPCs, so they can kind of feel like, oh wait, the NPC did that, I want to do that. So it's a sort of tutorial, I guess, in a way. And also, since it's a train adventure, it was a challenge in making a train adventure that wasn't entirely railroaded, because the train is by definition on a railroad. So yeah, there's not a whole lot of random elements in the 2 adventures I've made so far. I like randomly generated stuff as well. I will see where that goes, but I think there's also value in an adventure just saying there's 4 guys here, and not saying there's D4 guys here. It's easier to design that way as well, because you don't, like, suddenly there's 1 guy or 4 guys in a room. That's going to change the whole pace of the adventure. So I would say that these first couple of adventures are quite structured, and they try to show the setting. You kind of missed most of the weird, but there are definitely the themes of things starting out relatively mundane and then going sort of strange. In this case, you managed to expertly avoid all the strange stuff. And I mean, that's a way of playing as well. I don't think FrontierScum is the game where you get the weird just thrown at you at every stage. The weird is there and it exists, but you never know what to expect.
Awesome. I love that. That was one of my other follow-up questions. Like, I got that nice weird pin that I'm sure is horrible and does horrible things. But they'll find out that at some point in the future. So we've talked a little about this game is coming out with Games Omnivorous, one of our favorite folks and publishing partners to work with. Always excited to see new things that they've put together. They make absolutely beautiful games. When is it going up for? Is it going up for funding, or is it just going up for release?
It's going straight to stores.
Okay.
I believe I just got word the other day that all the pages are printed. We're just waiting to get the covers, sew them up. So I mean, it's close.
Awesome.
This summer.
Awesome.
sometime.
Uh,
We also talked about a giveaway, which I guess we
which
should bring
we
up
will
before
figure out
the-
another time. We didn't have set up for the stream today because I like to wait, especially for things like
All
this,
right.
until release, and so we'll do that
All right.
around the release, or maybe depending on what happens. If people are not aware, we do have an event coming up called EFCon 2022. I know what you rolled last summer on the 15th through 17th of July. So maybe we'll see some Frontier Scum happening there. Maybe we'll see some giveaways happening around that.
Yeah.
I don't know. You'll have to check it out in order to find out. Keep an eye on our Twitter channel and the Games Omnivorous Twitter for that information also too, because that's where we'll point people for those things. But we will have a couple giveaway copies of this available as well. Last question for that. Before that, what are kind of some of your hopes? Like Walt already talked about making an adventure. It seems like this is going to be kind of a community space with potentially an open license. What are some of the things you're hoping to see other people pick up and do with Frontier Scum besides just play it and have a good time?
Well, I primarily play it and have a good time, of course, and write play reports for me to read. I think the stuff I've made so far, that's always the best part, just reading what people do with it. But yeah, there's going to be an open license. It's going to be very similar to the one in Mörkborg or Death in Space or Troika, like just this very, very straightforward, simple license with a neat little compatibility logo for those who want it. That's going up, I believe, shortly before the game launches, so it's going to be ready for release. We're going to have a bit of a game jam as part of the release. There's going to be, we're going to call it the release jam, I think, straightforward. That's probably second after people playing it and having fun is having people make cool stuff with this.
Is it going to be Frontier Scum compatible, or do you have a fun name for your compatibility license?
Well, the logo says plays nice with Frontier Scum.
Awesome. Well, I had a blast. If anybody has any more questions, drop them in the chat. Otherwise, Tom, Walt, anything other things you want to make observations about, thoughts you have before I make a couple of announcements?
Just one thing. I might have wasted a bit of my time this week. I made some little miniatures of the three characters that we had in the session today. I think Karl shared them on Twitter earlier. They're on my Instagram page as well if anyone wants to see, the scum that you were riding alongside today.
Awesome. Yeah. It was absolutely amazing. People should 100% go check that out. And a couple things we've got coming up, like I mentioned, this afternoon. We have our next funeral party happening. If you're not familiar with Funeral Party, it is a talk show we do every single month. That's not the right one. That we do every single month with me and my good buddy Jarrett Crater over at Exalted Funeral. We talk about the latest and greatest things hitting their shop, as well as things that are coming up. We always interview the ghost of a person who's an actual RPG designer today, but we summon the ghost from across time and space to interview them after the end of their life for whatever reason, because we can, and why wouldn't you? I'm not available this afternoon, so we're going to summon my ghost from the future to interview me this afternoon. We're going to talk specifically about EFCon, which is coming up on July 15th through 17th. It's an online convention open to anyone and everyone. We'll have some scheduled games from a lot of the different house brands that you see, both things from Exalted Funeral, but also companies like Games Omnivorous and Troika and Mothership and a lot of other great folks who regularly work with Exalted Funeral will be having games during that time. There'll be a ticket price for everyone, including ability to access panels and some of the actual play live streams we're doing as part of it on our Twitch channel just for free. There'll also be a cheap ticket that will get you into the virtual gather space that we're using for the con, so you can walk around, meet other people, sit down and play games with folks. There'll be some special releases. It's all happening alongside their Funeral Friday sale. Come back this afternoon at 4 o'clock, so in a little bit over an hour, to hear us talk more about that and some of the work that I do. And then on Saturday, I'm going to be up in New York City at Hex & Co. for free RPG Day. If you're in the New York City area and want to come into the Hex & Co. West location, I'll be there with a number of other amazing designers designers, a lot of whom are our friends from on stream, sitting down playing our games and their games all afternoon long. We'll have some giveaways and other stuff. So feel free, come by and hang out with us during that time. If you're here in the U.S., Free RPG Day happens all over the place, so check your friendly local game store to see what they may have going on. If they don't have anything going on, ask them to schedule something for next year. It's usually whatever weekend this is in June, so check it out. With all that said, somebody wants to know, the last question we got is, hey, is that Karl Druid, creator of Clam Dash? And which the answer is, Karl?
It might be.
With that said, keep an eye on our Twitter account. We'll have a giveaway on launch day, as well as a Twitter account for Games Omnivorous and Karl's Twitter account to be in the know when everything goes live for this absolutely amazing game. I'm going to be traveling for a wedding for the next week and a half, so we won't have any streams going on during that time, but you can reach us online, check out different things that we've got going on. The digital version of Down We Go, the penultimate draft version, is going to drop next week. So if you haven't late pledged to that, you can go to ttrpg.link/DWG live to go check out the pledge manager for Down We Go. I think it's great. Walt, what do you think?
I'm completely unbiased, but after Frontier Scum, it's probably the greatest game I've ever played.
There we go. I'll tell everyone else whose games you ever edited the same exact that you said that. So we'll be off for the next couple weeks. If you need anything, let us know. Until next time, we're all just going to wave at the screen until I take us off air. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you soon.